Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this question about how do you get the relationship right? And I've had many questions about this from students, like how do you get the relationship right? And so I thought what I'd do is I'll do a video on it so I could help more people in one go. Now, when you think about mediumship, we'd like to receive a message from someone. Let's say we wanted to get a message from our dad that was in spirit. The first thing we'd want to know, even if we were having a private sitting, the first thing that we would want to know is it my dad? But if you went for a private sitting and you got an answer from them saying, oh, I've got a man here, it just doesn't resonate the same as it would, even in private sittings. So if you like this subject, please give this a like. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do, because I answer all these questions. And if you have any questions about mediumship, just write them in the chat and let me know, and I will certainly answer your questions within a live video. So when we're talking about getting relationships right, what it needs is a couple of factors. One of the factors is to trust your process of your mediumship and to trust that you will get the relationship right. Because the main thing that gets a relationship wrong is people get panicky and they try to get the relationship and then they mess it up and say, see, I can't do it. And that's not the way to learn. Really, we need to be in the practice stages, in groups, practicing this. So a good way, I'm going to tell you how to get your relationships right, is to get into your practice groups and to practice saying, when you get a contact, the relationship straight away. So if you feel a man behind you joining you from the spirit world, or a woman, then you say, instead of saying I've got a man here, just say I've got a father here, or I've got a mother here, or I've got a grandfather here, or I've got a grandmother here, or I've got a brother here, or I've got a... So in doing it straight away, you're giving it a chance. And if you're doing it in circle, it's a practice moment. So because it's a practice moment and you learn to do it in the beginning, you'll learn to trust it more. And you may get, in the beginning, while you're trying this out, you may get it wrong a few times. That doesn't matter, because the whole point of it is you learn from the mistakes that you make. And it's like the feeling that you want to build with the spirit world. So what you want to do is whenever you can, whenever you sit in the power, or whenever you sit at those moments with your spirit guides, ask them to bring you the relationship. And you can do this sitting in the power and say, I really would like to work on the relationships this week. And so help me to get that right. In doing that, and if you did that, if you sat in the power every day, just imagine 7 days sending that intention out, you'll find the next time that you come to circle, or the next time you have to demonstrate, or the next time you have to do a private sitting, the relationships will get better. Another thing you can do is communicate with your spirit guides. This is number 2 tip. Communicate with your spirit guides in daily activities. So you might be cooking, you might be cleaning, you might be doing the ironing, but communicate with them and say, hey, I'd really like to get more relationships in the next contact. And because when you look at the spirit world as being an intelligence, they will answer that intelligence. So they will certainly help you out in the next thing, and you'll find that will make a difference. So that's the second thing you can do. So it's sitting in the power, asking with intention, speaking to your guides when you're doing daily things, asking for the relationships to get right. These both things will certainly help with the relationships. Another thing you can do is sit in the attunement, which is really sitting in the power. But when you're sitting in the power, ask your own people from the spirit world to come and visit you. So if you ask for your own grandmother to come and stand behind you, you can feel, how does she feel? How does a grandmother feel? And in that initial feeling, you learn to recognize it. Then you can ask grandfather to come forward. You may be able to ask your mother and father. It depends if you have them in the spirit world. And if you do that, asking your own spirit people to come forward and just experience how they feel, you'll start to build up this repertoire of knowledge knowing, like as a matter of fact, if someone feels like a father or if someone feels like a mother or whatever. So you're really building on the relationship. So that's tip number 3. Now, so if you can do that with your own people, another way, and this is tip number 4, is to really feel in daily life, what is your relationship like with your mother? How does it feel? What is your relationship with your father? How does it feel? What is the relationship with your brother, your sister, your cousins? And just for a moment in your daily life, practice feeling how that feels. And if you do that, remember the feelings, so that the next time you come to practice, you're actually building your repertoire even more, so that you can really get the relationships correct. So that was tip number 5, I believe, or 4. But it just shows you that if you practice all these different things, you practice them, and it will get better. So another thing you've got to do, if you really want to get these right, is just dare yourself to do it. And it doesn't matter if you get it wrong, because most of the people, they get the relationship wrong because they're like, oh, they're afraid of getting a no. And like, but really it will enrich your mediumship when you have that trust, because if we trust our own spirit, and we trust the spirit world, and then we trust our spirit guides, and then we trust the spirit people will communicate, that's building up a relationship. And that relationship you can build upon, to know that if they give you that feeling, it's a father, it's a mother, it's whatever. And so it's daring to get it wrong. And it doesn't matter in your practice groups if you get it wrong. And even now and again, if you see some of the best mediums, they'll get the relationship wrong now and again. But just know it's okay. It's because that's you've tried to do it. The more you try it, the more that you'll get good at it. So that's building that, and it's building that trust. So just to go back for the people that have just started, invite, sit in the power, set your intention. I want to get the relationships right. In your daily life, speak to your guides, ask them to help you get the relationship right. Sit in the power also, asking your own spirit people like grandmothers and mothers and that to come forward and let you feel how that feels. That will increase it. And really, also feeling in real life what relationships feel to you. Now, remember, if you're trying to get relationships right and you don't have a brother, then it's difficult for you to understand what a brother feels like. So you've got to really get used to, all right, how does a brother feel to me? A lot of mediums I've noticed that haven't got brothers, and they'll say, oh, I've got a friend here, because they know how a friend feels, but they don't know how a brother feels. And it can work the other way around with a sister as well. And cousins, you've got to say, okay, how does a cousin feel? So it's just basically opening yourself up to more possibilities within your practice circles, and daring yourself to go that little bit further, and just to try it out a little bit more. And that will build trust with your relationship with the spirit world. And that's what you want. You want to build up this trust. So if anyone's got any questions about this and they'd really like to learn more about mediumship, feel free to look in the description of this video, and you'll find some information in there to get in contact with me if you want to send me any questions. But also, don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'll be answering your questions live on YouTube. And that's what I do. And this channel is really good. It's been really good so far to just answer the questions that people have really been wanting to ask. So remember, trust in your mediumship, trust in your process, and just know that your mediumship is unfolding the way it should unfold. And know that if you communicate with the spirit world, they will communicate back to you. And if you can really believe in that, then you're really going to move forward within your mediumship. So biggest tip, next practice circle, promise me you'll do it. Say the relationship first and just give it a go. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care, and see you again soon.